Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. Yeah, we're good. We're live. Erev Tov, everybody. Welcome. We are back again for attempt number 2
Yes.
to get this incredible interview out there for the public. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Erev Tov, Chanukah Sameach. As you can see behind, we are celebrating Chanukah. Tonight is the fifth night of Chanukah. B'ezrat Hashem, we're here with you live tonight or listening in the future on the Finding Holiness podcast or our website, findingholiness.buzzsprout.com. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you hear your podcasts. We present to you tonight part 4 of our series of Community Matters. And if you are listening right now, it's probably because community matters to you. Here we get to speak to local Jewish community members and activists about their achievements, their ambitions, their aspirations. We discuss how they work to shape the Jewish community at large, the issues that they tackle, and how they find holiness in the work that they do. I want to just take a moment to thank our dear sponsor, Mr. and Mrs. Eric Ben Shetrit, who has graciously sponsored tonight's episode. He is very, very fond and a big fan of our guest tonight, and we thank Eric for his support, his continued support of the podcast as well. Tonight's guest is a leader in so many ways, a person that I wanted to have on from the beginning of this series. I look at all the programs, the organizations, the groups that he initiated, and I can't help but be in admiration for his work. Max Benaim is a name that reverberates throughout the Toronto Jewish community and many parts of the world for his incredible acts of hesed, his acts of giving, kindness, which I hope that you remain to hear this interview, to hear what it's all about. Without further ado, I introduce to you Mr. Max Benaim, my dear friend. Max, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. Fine, thank you, Rabbi. First of all, thank you very much for this introduction. I don't know if I really deserve it, but thank you.
If you're here, then you deserve it. At least to me, you deserve it.
All right. Chag Sameach to all of you. And thank you to my friends, Mr. and Mrs. Eric Ben Shetrit, for sponsoring this interview. And thank also to the many donors that have really go out of their way to help me to do the mitzvot that we all do. It's not a mitzvah that I only do, but thanks to all the donors that have participated year after year.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, where you come, where you're born. Some people know the name of Max Benaim. A lot of people know the name Max Benaim, but a lot of our listeners might not.
Okay.
So where were you born? When did you move to Canada?
Okay. My name is Max Benaim. I was born in 1951 in the city of Tangiers, Morocco, to a beautiful family, my dear and lovable, and my father, Zichrono Livracha, Jacob Benaim, and Rachel Benaim, Zichrona Livracha. We immigrated to Canada with my parents and 6 siblings in 1964 by boat. Not a cruise liner, I can tell you that. Not a Norwegian or the Princess, but it was quite a struggle. 11 days in the Mediterranean, which we thought that was going to end of our trip. But, my 6 siblings were my sister, Zichrona Livracha, Esther, my other sister, Anna, my brothers, Mo, Elias, and Judah. Albert, the Bechor, the oldest, made Aliyah at the age of 16 years old from Morocco, where he belonged to an underground operation from Morocco, which took him, I don't know, maybe 6 or 9 months to reach Eretz Israel. He joined a kibbutz and then the IDF and served in the IDF and fought in the Six-Day War. And the youngest is Stan, who was born in Canada. So that's our family history. Upon our arrival in 1964, as a matter of fact, it's 1964 in November the 11th, we arrived in Toronto. A few months or maybe a year right after, first of all, we belong to the Petah Tikva Anshe Castilla congregation. That was our home, away from home. And most of the Tangerians belonged there. And some of my friends and myself, we thought, why don't we organize a trip at that time to Crystal Beach? Nobody had any cars like now. So we rented a bus, a 49-seater. We worked all night, we promoted, and we had a full house, sold out. And that was the beginning of our youth organization. Our youth organization became a staple in the Jewish community, especially in the Petah Tikva family. We called it the Petah Tikva Youth Organization, initials PTYO. PTYO was like a Coca-Cola. Everybody knew PTYO. And from there, we just took off and we organized all kinds of activities, from religious activities to social activities to educational activities, just to bring the youth. Because I always believe to this moment that the youth is our future. Without a youth, there is no future. So we had many, many activities. Out of the social ones, okay, and with all due respect, we used to organize dances with the young people. And out of those dances, I'm very proud to say that between 35 and 40 couples today are married with grandchildren. And it was quite the goal that we wanted. That was the results. So we did Shabbatons with boys and girls. The good thing was that our parents, the parents of these young people, believed in us, trusted us, and they knew that they were going to a place where they will be safe. And
coming to a country that was, I guess it was still new. It was something that, a lot of unknowns.
It was a challenge.
A big challenge dealing with, the society at large.
Mm-hmm.
Assimilation was definitely played a part, still plays a part. Yep. Probably, arguably today more than ever.
Yep.
There was probably a need to keep the community binded together, and I wonder if that played a role in the decision making of the PTYO of keeping the Sephardic Jews together, beyachad, as one, and not letting them disperse outwards.
Definitely, and that was our goal. As a matter of fact, our slogan of PTYO was "Unity is our goal,"
mm-hmm.
and we had pins, and and that was our slogan, our letterheads, and everything. And I dedicated really my entire life since I was 16, 17 years old to be involved in synagogue activities, in synagogue in every way, shape, or form. I entered the Board of Governors, one of the youngest, as a member of the Board of Governors, and then I rose really to be the president, not only president of Petah Tikva, but not too long ago I was president of the Kehila Center, because I moved up north, even though it takes me quite a
walk.
to walk, almost 50 minutes one way, because, since my beloved mother passed away, I didn't make a promise, but I started to walk on Shabbat and holidays, and it's been now 20 years. So I have a lot of miles that that I have accumulated walking back and forth. It's a challenge. I must say it's a challenge. And now, I'm not 20 years old or 30 or 40. I'm 71 years old, even though I look young, okay? But it's a pleasure to walk, on Shabbat or on a holiday. It's a little bit lonely because, that's the time that I speak to my father or my mother up there.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the years, unfortunately, we had disasters in our family. Then we can move into other subjects and other activities. At the moment, because we are celebrating Hanukkah, 25 years ago, we were sitting around, my wife, my two kids, Marcos and Jack, and we were talking and we said, why don't we help out those that cannot light the Hanukkah? Seniors who don't have anybody, who may have a son or a daughter that unfortunately cannot make it to their homes, or anybody that is disabled, that cannot hold a candle to light the Hanukkah. And I believe I was asking my wife the other day, who gave us the name, and we honoring Mimi's Light. Mimi is a young lady at the time. Well, she's still a young lady. She was born disabled. Okay, she's in a wheelchair. She can light the Hanukkah with a lot of problems. Okay, so it is, to me, it's one of the biggest mitzvah to go to her house, help her light the Hanukkah, and just to see the smile, and just for her to tell me thank you, which I really don't need any thank you. But it's something that, for 25 years, my wife and my two kids, we started going. Then, Jackie moved to Israel. Marcos has his own family now.
But these are your two sons.
I got two sons, yes. Jackie has married to Andrea and three beautiful grandchildren. Estrella Jr., Lake, and Miguel, which is really Menachem Moshe, but they call him Miguel. And here, Marcos married to Dr. Ilana Greenberg Benaim, and our beautiful granddaughter, Ella Benaim.
Beautiful.
So that's our family. We created Mimi's Light, and it's been a big success. Now, there's other people that want to join, and I have to pay tribute to Maurice Hosea, who's helping out. Then he is a true believer that we should continue this, even though, I will be continuing, this program. So that's about Mimi's Light.
So the feeling, the feeling you must get, every time you leave, these homes of the elderly or those that are not physically able to light the candle. You spoke about gratitude, which is what the holiday of Hanukkah is all about, right? Being modeh to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the miracles that took place way back when and during the Greek Empire. That's it's probably this act of hesed is like you feel thankful, right? It's like you got the opportunity to be here and make their holiday.
I feel more than thankful, and I truly believe that mitzvot is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do a mitzvah, it leads you to another one and to another one, and it's a non-stop. Sometimes my wife really tells me, you're a little bit crazy, you go from one to the other to the other. Well, stop, take it easy. But I can't.
Mitzvah goreret mitzvah, as Birkei Avot
says. It's something that I want to give. To live is to give. And then we'll touch to live and to give, the slogan.
The slogan. We're going to get to that. We got a lot to do. This is just an inkling of what there is to come. The Mimi's light. I want to stick with the elderly for a moment because you seem to have a very strong connection with helping those who are vulnerable and those people in need. You have strongly advocated getting the community involved in visiting the elderly. During your tenure of many synagogues, the one that I'm employed as rabbi, as you mentioned, you were past president. Just for example, you used to urge the community to pick up the phone, to call people who are home alone. Besides for the obvious mitzvah of Bikur Cholim, why is this important to you? Like, why do you think it's so hard for people to follow this footstep? What do you think people are afraid of? And why do you care so much about this?
I care because one day, and Be'ezrat Hashem will reach that age to be senior, to be 80, 90, 100. And to me, it's unbelievable that when I pick up the phone and I have a list every Friday, and I call. Unfortunately, I don't have that many now because a lot of them passed. And it only takes a minute, my dear friends, a minute to pick up a phone and say, "Hi, this is Max." Sometimes they know your voice. It's like a bridge. I'm building a bridge. When I don't call on Friday, believe it or not, they call me on Mosai Shabbat and they tell me, "Are you okay?" I say, "Yes, I'm sorry, but I was so busy that I just couldn't." And wherever I am in the travel business, okay? And wherever I am, whether it's in the Dominican Republic, whether it's in Israel, whether it's in Russia, that I was, and I called my people to wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Sometimes the hours do not correspond because of the change of time. But it is important because Be'ezrat Hashem, we all will be in that position, and there's nothing better than receive a call. You must understand that there are some people that are alone in their homes, and they wait for that phone call as if it's the winning the 649 or the Supermax.
People wonder about the source of Bikur Cholim. Many Chachamim believe that visiting the elderly is a biblical mitzvah. It's a mitzvah deoraita because the Torah tells us Acharei Adonai Elohechem telechu, that you should follow the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, many of us are aware in Parashat Vayera, went to go visit Abraham Avinu after he had the Brit Milah, and therefore when he was in pain, and therefore it's our obligation to follow Hashem and do similar things. So if visiting is impossible, picking up the phone a lot easier. And now with WhatsApp, you could be across the world and it won't cost you a penny, right?
Especially now. Listen, I think some people they put their phone on their night table.
Yeah.
And when you're driving from downtown all the way up to Thornhill, imagine how many phone calls you can make.
100%.
Just prepare a list. If you need help on how to approach someone that you don't know, please call me. I will let you know. I will tell you exactly how to do it. It's very easy. It takes 1 minute. 1 minute of your time, it could be a lifetime of their time.
So we've spoken about Mimi's Light. We've spoken about the importance of reaching out. Another small project you do similar to Mimi's Light is on before Rosh Hashanah, which is on Rosh Hashanah. Is it
Rosh
on
Hashanah,
Rosh Hashanah? Yes, Rosh Hashanah, to go out and blow the shofars as well for people who don't have the opportunity to go to synagogue or cannot physically walk to synagogue. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Kol Shmuel Shofar program, I initiated that program in memory of Mr. Samuel Ozier Zichrono Livracha, who used to blow the shofar at Petah Tikva. And to honor him, because he really believed in the youth too. He helped us a lot in with the young people. in certain activity like Yom Ha'atzmaut, I still remember. And I have a lot of volunteers. It's not me, I don't blow the shofar, but a lot of volunteers that for the last 12 years, they have gone to homes, to even bakeries, to hospitals, to blow the shofar, sometimes during the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, where they had to walk. They don't take the car.
This is after a 5-hour tefillah, right?
Yes, yes.
They would,
They will go, they will rush having their lunch, and then they will rush. I have to pay tribute tonight to my dear friend, beloved friend, Jack Buzagro. Sorry. Zichrono Livracha, because I remember him, that I called him from Israel, because I wasn't here. I was in Israel celebrating. I was going to celebrate Rosh Hashanah, and I told him, Jack, please, can you go to this apartment and blow the shofar? Sure, no problem. And he went on Rosh Hashanah. After Rosh Hashanah, he called me. Max, what did you do to me? I said, what? You sent me to the penthouse, so I had to go all the way, walk up and down to blow the shofar, but it was my pleasure. So,
the type of man that Jack was.
Yes, that was Jack. That was Jack, and did it year after year, and many, many of them. Yoav, Lionel Mahler, Isaac Ozier, Maurice Ozier. I'm sorry, I don't have all the names, but
you know who you are. You know who you are.
You know who you are, and you know what? Chazaku Baruch. I'm just the organizer, and I never get a no. I call them, and it's always a pleasure. Rabbi Zrian participated at the beginning. You know, it's unbelievable. Soli Levi, Zichrono Levracha. Okay, so you know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Kos shofar, the kos shmor shofar.
Okay, let's get into the meat of things.
Okay,
now. Those watching on our channel on YouTube will see the ticker at the bottom of the screen that reads the ebfoundation.ca. This stands for the organization that you created called the Estrella Benaim Foundation. Who is it named after, and why did you start it?
Okay, it's named after my little sister that was killed in a car accident in 1971. One day, years after, I thought, well, you know, my sister never had the opportunity to have a bat mitzvah. She was 7 years old. And I said to myself, why don't we honor her in her memory to do bat mitzvot and bar mitzvot? And since I am a staunch Zionist, I believe in the state of Israel very, very, very much.
Don't get fooled by the color of the sweater.
No. At least there's blue and white.
There's blue and white.
You know, but I'm not French, okay? Not French. I decided that we were going to do bar mitzvot and bat mitzvot for children from underprivileged families in Israel, just in Israel. And I said, okay, so let's go for it. Again, my children and my wife will really participate, and they're always in the back. I'm the front man, but, you know, they help me a lot. Was my son Marcos that created the slogan, to live is to give. So we will live to give to these children. I have to say honestly, there was one moment before I started our initial project, there was a singer from Israel that I was introduced to. He came to the Kehila and he sang. And
this is Moshe Giat?
Yes, Moshe Giat. Yes, Moshe Giat. And they introduced me to him, and they told me, well, can you raise money for my program? I said, okay, I'm going to try. I did raise money for his program. It's funny, but I raised like $18,000, which was great.
Yeah.
And he used it. And I went to Israel. I believe Isaac Cohen was there present, and I think one or two of my brothers. We went, and was okay, nice bar mitzvah. There were about 25, 30 children, 30 boys. It was nice, and then I decided. I said, well, you know what? If that man can do it, I think I can do it, and we're going to do it for the Sephardic community, to get the Sephardic community involved. So when I came back, I started, to start raising money. And I'll tell you honestly, Rabbi, it was the easiest thing. Everybody wanted to contribute. Some people contributed whatever they could, and some people contribute, large sums of money. Sponsoring, we set at $750. But due to inflation, now we're talking 13 years ago, now to sponsor a child is $1,100, which is 100% tax deductible. So we started that program every 2 years. Now we got down to every year. And we are reaching more or less the 1,000 kids that will be benefiting from this program. Each child, each boy gets a brand new tefillin with a brand new talit, with a siddur, with an embroidered talit case and the tefillin case. I have to mention and pay tribute to my friend Shlomi Torjman from Kiryat Gat, who he's like a brother to me, and he is really my right hand, and we do things together because he believes in this project.
שלומי, מה נשמע אם אתה שומע אותנו?
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but I told him to
Definitely. Shlomi and I were colleagues
Yes.
when he came here to work as a shaliach at the school that I teach in, and I love seeing him. An amazing gentleman.
He is an amazing human being. He's got a beautiful family, beautiful mother, beautiful. It's I can't say. I don't know. It's too much. This guy is too much, and I only met him when I was president, and he heard me speak at the podium, and he approached me and he says, "Wow, I really didn't believe that people in Canada could speak about Israel like you do." And from there on, it was like a takeoff. I have to pay tribute also to Rabbi Ben Arosh from Winnipeg and now from Israel, that we did the first bar mitzvah at the Sephardic Educational Center in Jerusalem. And it was just a conversation of not even half an hour. And he said, well, let's do it. I said, well, let's do it. And I was the fundraiser, and we did it. So, not too long ago, I'll tell you, in April, I think it was, in April, right after Pesach. In April? No, I don't know. It was recently, we did a bar mitzvot and bat mitzvot for children, not only from underprivileged family, but children that were abused in their homes, and they were taken away from their families. And it was very, very emotional, it was too much, even for me, that I've seen kids that, that come to the bar mitzvah, or even their parents that come to the bar mitzvah, and I buy the best scotch, blue label, to serve them, because they deserve the best.
They deserve it.
Not only the parents, but the kids they are treated royally, and they get a whole day. We bring them from every part of Israel, whether it's Kiryat Shmonim, whether it's Ofakim, whether it's Kiryat Malachi, from the poor areas of Israel, Yerushalayim, Dimona. We did from almost every part of Israel, and we welcome them with open arms. My wife is one of the biggest helpers. My wife is one of the biggest helpers, and my kids, and my family. Something personal. 6 years ago or 7 years ago, I was diagnosed, and 1 year. No, I was diagnosed. I went through the whole procedure of chemo and radiation and blah blah blah, and we didn't stop doing this program because we truly believe in this program.
That's when everybody else steps up and.
Yeah, my whole family, my entire family, because 3 years ago, right before COVID, we planned a bar mitzvah event, and couple of hours before we were doing also Achnasa Sefer Torah. We this is something new to everybody, but we gave a gift on behalf of the Sephardic community in memory of Estrella Benaim Foundation, a Sefer Torah, to a school, to a youth center in Israel that did not have a Sefer Torah. And they used that Sefer Torah every Monday and Thursday. Not only that, this past Simchat Torah, my friend Shlomi sent me a picture, of them, because it's the only Sefer Torah that they have, dancing with the Sefer Torah. And I felt like that was like winning the 649.
Better than winning 649.
Unbelievable.
Well, yeah.
So,
oh my God. So, can you describe? I don't know if you can, and maybe this is an unfair question, but describe the feeling of emotions from these parents, from these family members in attendance, watching their children celebrate a bar bat mitzvah when they thought that they could never provide that for their kids.
Well, I'll tell you, Rabbi, you know what?
I remember the feeling of my own, putting on the tefillin of my own son, and the chills that
I'll tell you something. We invite people that are in Israel that are from Toronto. We always invite, and he always shows up, Rabbi Yasayag, his son Aaron, and last time they brought his grandchild, because he helped us to don the tefillin. Because 1 year, well, not too long ago, we had 50 bar mitzvot in one day. So imagine to put 50 bar mitzvot, because some of the parents don't know. Some of the kids don't know. So it was quite a challenge. Now, 2 or 3 months ago, we did 25. Even though that was a challenge, but we did it. It's recognized by the chief rabbi of the Kotel, Rabbi Rabinovich. He always comes to us. He always blesses the kids, the children, talks to us. And at the celebration, we have members of the Knesset. We have we have Mazel Tov greetings from the Prime Minister of Israel. This is not just a small event that we have. We have attained this level of acceptance, okay? And this is a zechut. It's really now regarding the parents, how they feel. Well, I'll tell you, from the moment they arrive at the Kotel, because what we do is, when we bring them, they come to the balcony of the Kotel, and we have a breakfast prepared for them. Because, if they come from Kiryat Shmona, they have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning in order to arrive at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Sometimes they're late. So they have to eat something. They have to drink something. So from the moment they arrive, the parents, the mothers, the fathers, the kids, thank you and thank you and thank you. And I'm going to tell you a story. Not too long ago, Rabbi Garson, who was the chief rabbi of Spain, who lives now in Ranana, who I invited him, and he never missed once. He will come and he will help us, and he will thank me, and he will participate. I had a problem last year with one of the children. The problem was that the counselor came up to me and he says he doesn't want to put his tefillin. I said, why? He's very sad. Very sad. Why? Say his father was killed 2 months ago. So he wanted to come, but he didn't feel. So I asked Rabbi Garson, I said, Rabbi, do me a favor. This boy had this tragedy in his family 2 months ago before coming. He didn't want to come, but he made an effort. The mother sort of forced him to come. He didn't want to put it to him. I said, okay, leave it with me. He went to him, and I still have a picture. And he spoke to him half an hour in his ear. Half an hour. And I was watching them from far away. Half an hour. At the moment, I saw the smile on the kid, and he was putting his feeling. That is something, gratitude. That's I cannot explain it.
It's an image in your brain that
I will never be erased.
Never be
Will
erased.
never be erased. And then the party we go to a 5-star hotel or a 5-star
Restaurant or
no restaurant. Yeah,
cater, right?
Cater all we do at the Bet Shmuel. Beautiful place, and the menu is top notch. We bring live music and DJ, okay, and it's unbelievable. And then we give them gifts. It's not just because the boys, they get the best thing out of this. They get the tefillin, the talit, the siddur. But the girls, we have to give them some jewelry. We give them beautiful candle holder, Shabbat candle holders, okay? And we give them jewelry, and we bring a lot of gifts. It's like the best bar mitzvah that you can attend, and I hope and I wish that Be'ezrat Hashem you will come October 15. Okay, this year, because we have time now to arrange it.
You had a special treat for them this past year with the birds. You want to?
Oh, with the birds. Oh, yeah. That was last year and this year.
Okay, both 2 years.
My friend Shlomi gave me the suggestion, and naturally, we have to look at the budget because everything costs money. He said, Max, why don't we do this? Why don't we rent one white dove, for every boy and girl. And we're going to have a parade through Jerusalem, and we're going to stop at a park, and then we're going to have, because we have the musicians and everything, and then we're going to let these birds just up in the air in Jerusalem and wish for peace. And I'll tell you, even my granddaughter, whenever we go visit my granddaughter here in Toronto, we put the video and she goes nuts. Wow! Before we were a little bit cheaper, we used to do balloons. Okay? Everybody will get a balloon and let them go up. But now it's better. It's the white dove of peace.
That's amazing. I saw amazing. Anyone that's seen the videos know exactly what Max is talking about. It's amazing images, and every year I look forward to at least seeing glimpses of it. And I always I tell Max, I go, I gotta be there one day. I gotta just make my way there to experience it. And Bezrat Hashem, it will be done. A tough question: Did you ever have to turn anyone down? Either budget constraints or lack of funding, lack of space, something.
No, the only time that we refuse someone, it's not refused, because we have to check. These kids, they come through, we check with the welfare department in Israel. Now, there's always, unfortunately, at the beginning, we didn't check not their background, but we didn't check their family, where they live and how they live and all that. So we found out through our contact in, I'll tell you honest, it was in Kiryat Shmone, where one or two kids, they were living in mansions. Yeah,
Well, good for them.
yeah,
but
good for them. But and I had a contact over there, Esther Kerub, which is Isaac and Salomon Kerub's sister, which helped me. Okay, and said, Max, you don't worry. I'm going to check them out because I know everybody here. Check them out. Came back, said, Max, this one and this one. No. I'm sorry. You can't because it will take the spot for two others.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but we never, ever refuse anybody.
So
As a matter of fact, I'll tell you something, Rabbi. Once I was in the, I don't know if it was Petah Tikva or Kehila. Somebody came up to me, and these people that sometimes they ask for donations for the yeshivot or for their families and all that, came up to me and he says, "Can you help me? Because I'm going to do a bar mitzvah for my son." I said, "Well, you came to the right place."
Mm-hmm.
When? This time I say, okay, I'm going to be in Israel. You know what? I'm going to do, my organization is going to do your bar mitzvah. What? Yeah. You don't have to pay nothing. And that time was a 2-day bar mitzvah.
Mm-hmm.
We brought them one day. We gave them accommodation at the Sephardic Center. And the following day was the bar mitzvah day. So you come, give me your name, and contacted him and said, come and bring the bar mitzvah. Well, to my surprise, but it was good. Thank God. Baruch Hashem, we had the money. He came, he has 6 children. 6 children. Wow. And the bar mitzvah, I think, was the 7th, and the wife. So I had to get like 2 rooms,
Yeah.
So, but it's okay, Baruch Hashem. They loved it. They thanked everybody, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I can attest. Just doing my son's bar mitzvah in Israel. Max has these connections somewhere at the kotel. I don't know how he knows these people. Now I know how he knows these people. But you go call this person. They're going to take care of you. It's amazing. I just they say his name and they took care of me very well. Baruch Hashem.
It's nice. It's very, very gratifying. Like I said, one mitzvah goes to another. I'm going to tell you, listeners, right now, I raised money for the IDF. I was honored. And I'm proud of saying this. I was honored by the Kfir Brigade. And just Google Kfir Brigade and it will tell you what they do in Israel. I was honored to be speaking in front of 800 newly Chayalim, soldiers, on behalf of the Sephardic community here in Toronto. That was, I think, one of my biggest moments, in Israel, where I spoke to this Chayalim. As a matter of fact, I did a special trip for 3 days just to go speak and come back. So, what can I say? All I'm saying is to listeners, to the young people, get involved. Get involved because it's gratifying. Because once you do one mitzvah, you will feel it in your heart. Pick up the phone on a Friday or before a Chag. Wish someone who doesn't even get a phone call during the week or during the month or during the year, and wish them Shabbat Shalom. Just Shabbat. Hi, how are you? Shabbat Shalom. Wow. And then they will get to know you. And then they will talk to you. And then they will bless you. And I'll tell you, those blessings are the best that I can get. The best that I can get.
And you have listen, for we understand some people it's not easy. They may not be extroverts, they're more quiet, they're more shy. There's other ways. There's other ways to participate. You could be a silent partners in the community without having your name out there, without making the phone calls or getting up on podiums and doing this. That's equally as important. And what can I say? You've done so much. And if anybody wants to help your cause, where do they go? Who do they donate to? You have a lot of causes to.
It's very easy.
Any fundraising.
The cause, especially the bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah or anything else. I mean, it's just not going to be bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah. It's going to be bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, and much more. And much more. So all you do is, I do it through Petah Tikva. So you go to www.petahtikva.ca. Okay, there's a little box there where comments, you just put Bar Mitzvah program, and they know exactly where that money goes to. So just get involved, please. It's easy. I know everybody's busy, but like I told you, if you work downtown, or even if you work at home now, everybody's, the new thing now, working from home. Well, take 5 minutes of your time on Friday or before Chag. Take 5 minutes. That's all, 5 minutes. And approach someone. You need names? Call me. I'll give you a name. I'll give you how to introduce yourself. Hi, how are you? How are you feeling? My name is so-and-so. How are you feeling, Mrs. So-and-so? They speak Spanish, so you speak Spanish. And I tell you, it's worth it. I am sure some people are watching this tonight. And a mitzvah leads to another mitzvah. That's all I can tell you. Do it.
I think you have. I think your slogan is perfect. To live is to give. Olam chesed yibaneh. Akadosh Baruch Hu created the world with chesed. The name of Akadosh Baruch Hu, the full name of Akadosh Baruch Hu is chesed. The gematria of chesed is 72, which is Hashem's one of His holiest names of 72 letters. That's what we're here for. We're here to give. We're not here to take. And you have exemplified that idea, Max. I want to wish you lots of hatzlacha, beracha in everything that you do and you continue to do. You are an inspiration for so many people, the people that are listening, the people that you've assisted and helped along the way for so many years since your arrival here in Canada. Hashem should bless you with long life. He should bless you with refuah, yeshuot, nechamot. Ad 120 shana. Amen. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rabbi, for having me tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes part 4 of the Community Matters program, a division of the Finding Holiness podcast. If you know anyone that would fit perfectly on our show and share their stories, please contact me privately, findingholiness@gmail.com. Easy enough. If you want to sponsor this episode, no, not this episode. We have this episode sponsored. If you want to sponsor future episodes, check over our website, findingholiness.com. or findingholiness.buzzsprout.com. Click the link at the top of the page. We hope that you can join us next time when we bring in another important and influential community member to discuss their personal trek towards molding the Jewish community for the better and their search to find holiness. You know why? Because holiness matters. Wishing you and everyone a Chanukah Sameach and a wonderful night.